welcome to the stage Dr. Kemp. It is such an honor to be here amongst my distinguished colleagues. And so I stand before you not only as a board-certified holistic healer, but also and mostly as your peer. Because it is so humbling to know that there are universal laws in place that would allow someone like me to stand before you and become the first psychotherapist in history to re-describe all of these 170 mental and emotional diagnoses. I wanted deeper answers. I wanted to know, where is God? Where's God in all this? He says, well, I'm sorry, sweetheart. This is the psychiatry and psychology department here. You got to go down the hall 2 doors to the left to philosophy department. They might be able to help you out. They may have some answers, some ideas about this. But we don't get into deep answers here. We got medication and we got some supportive counseling, but we're not getting into anything that's not observable. And so I said, okay, two doors down there? Oh, okay. So I went searching. So naturally I asked, well, who decides what's normal? And so the scientific method uses what we call standard deviations. But then we make an educated guess and we generalize it to the whole 6 billion of us. And so some guesses are in our favor, like cancer research and those types of things. They serve us. But when we talk about mental health, it's not good because it labels and stigmatizes. So this is why I don't classify manifestations in the sacred therapy process as disorders. Disorders are not in alignment with the laws of creation. Bridging mental processes with spirituality and metaphysics, most people think this is some new age hoopla. My colleagues love to say, oh yes, I'll do that because that's research-based. As if that absolves us from further inquiry. It doesn't. And so I realized that the mental health care was limited. It was limited even in calling it psychotherapy. I had clients say, I don't need this, I'm not psycho. So I said, well, I needed to change the word. That's why I came up and coined sacred therapy. Because the details of our lives are sacred. So healing it can be too. And so, as I've traveled around the country this year doing this 10-city book tour, I have heard the most amazing stories of how these 8 steps in the book are realigning and reconnecting so many people with the core of who they are. With the recent suicide of celebrities Robin Williams and Simone Biles, I'm so glad that I added it because it's already beginning to help so many people. A lady called me, literally in tears, telling me that she had a gun in her hand. And she remembered that she met me in Raleigh and decided, oh yeah, she said it's a bonus chapter in her book. She said, you saved my life. She had a gun in her hand. Are you hearing me? This is amazing. That's the power. And as any of you know who may have been diagnosed with a mental or emotional diagnosis knows, there's a huge difference between being numbed out and being at peace. Apparently, most people came from some background where they felt abandoned or abused, had been rejected, molested, and all of that. This is the norm. Sound familiar? You know what I'm talking about? I lived it. I'm preaching to the choir. Because when we know our mind and our heart and use our courage to look outside of Kansas, where just brain chemistry exists, we actually find this sacred and magical land where you truly reconnect with mental health. And you know what? You can bring your little dog too. Yes, okay. So there just wasn't enough Paxil or Xanax or Zoloft in the world to desensitize me to that. I mean, really.